I'd like to thank SQUARESPACE, the sponsor of this video. Their incredible website design service has been so helpful for me as a content creator, and I'll be talking about them a bit more later on in the video.
Que te traigo de rocío, ya que tú no puedes ir, una astillita del puente de la Jolín, romero verde, romero verde.
Sin camino, viejo peregrino, bien sabes que te espera.
Seville is the largest city in the southern region of Spain, Andalusia. It has the biggest old town in the whole of Spain, so it's just full of narrow, quaint streets, and you literally just walk around them, get lost. There's so much history in this city. It's very old, it dates back 2,000 years or more, and the Romans were here. But the period of history which really defines this city has to be the 500 years of Muslim rule. This started in the 8th century when the Arab dynasty, the Umayyads, conquered and ruled in Seville. Later it was ruled by other Berber Muslim dynasties such as the Almohads and Almoravids. But this old town is literally full of incredible historical monuments which will tell you all about this fascinating time in Seville's history. The city was finally reconquered by the Christian monarchs in the 13th century, so it's been a Catholic city ever since. The Cathedral of Seville is by far the city's most impressive monument. It's the third largest cathedral in the whole world and the largest Gothic cathedral. It was built on the site of the former Grand Mosque, built in the 12th century by the Almohad dynasty. The only thing remaining today from the former mosque is a giralda, which is the bell tower. It used to be the minaret of the mosque, and the facade is completely intact. It's such a beautiful cathedral. The intricacy of the detail is just astounding. And it's said that when they were building this mosque, the church elders said, let's build a mosque which is so beautiful, so magnificent, that the whole world will think we're mad. And to be honest, when you see how grand it is, I think they were mad, but they clearly wanted to sort of show the world they were, a real, true Catholic city. I've come to the market here in Seville. This one's called Mercado de Feria, and I absolutely love coming to the markets in these places because this is where you really see what is the local produce, what are the things that people eat, and I'm sure this one's going to be full of amazing seafood because we're very close to the sea. Todo el pescado es de acá, como Cádiz o esta región.
Boquerón de Cádiz.
El boquerón.
La gamba de Huelva, calamares del Mediterráneo.
¿Cómo es la mejor manera de cocinar todo esto?
Nosotros somos muchos de comer frito.
Frito.
Pero la mejor es la plancha.
A la plancha, ¿no?
Lo mejor.
What's really great about this market is that there are lots of little places where you can eat, have tapas, seafood, and of course it's really fresh seafood because they're using all the fish that the market's selling. This place is very, very busy. It's called La Cantina, and there's a lot of locals here, so you can tell that it's going to be really good food. I just love the atmosphere in this kind of place. For me, it's so typically Spanish, right? It's what Spain's all about, that kind of craziness. It's tapas, it's lunchtime, everyone's hungry, the waiters are shouting orders, people are having cerveza, wine, muchas gracias. So I've just ordered the frito mixto, which is a mixed fried fish, prawns, white fish. I'm just going to do what every other Spaniard does here, which is pick up pieces of fried fish with my hands and eat it. Unbelievable, very fresh. And with the lemon juice, oh my gosh, it's like the taste of the sea, really. This looks like fried monkfish. Look at that, so juicy. Oh my God. That's so good. One of the most unique things about the city of Seville is its mudéjar architecture. Mudéjar is a mix of Moorish from the Muslim times and then other sorts of architecture like Gothic, Renaissance, Roman. There are a lot of historical monuments in the city which really show off this style. I'm in one of them now, which is called the Real Alcazar, or the Royal Palace. Initially, this was a palace during the Muslim period in the 11th century. Later on, when the Christian monarchs conquered Sevilla in the 14th century, they rebuilt this whole palace using this fusion of architectural styles and design elements. This, for example, is a perfect demonstration of that unification between the Muslim and the Christian religion. So you have Arabic calligraphy around the palace, but then you also have the designs of lions and buildings. And of course, in the Islamic religion, it's prohibited to depict images of living creatures. So this is how you can really see that blend between the Muslim and the Christian religion. The typical attributes of mudéjar-style buildings include the use of tiles and mosaics and vivid colours with geometric patterns. You also find lots of intricately carved wooden doors and ceilings and the use of arches throughout. I just find it incredible. When I started out about a year ago as a content creator, I knew that I wanted a professional looking website to go with my YouTube channel, somewhere where I could talk about myself and the project and where prospective business sponsors could contact me. But I had no idea how to build a website, and that's when I came across Squarespace. They're the sponsor of this video. They have an amazing website design technology which is called a Fluid Engine, and it allows you to choose from so many professional looking website templates. So if you have, for example, a blog that you want to start, or you're selling products and you want to design your own store, then you can customize the website. You can pick things like your font and your color to be in line with your brand. Since I launched my website with Squarespace, one of the services I've absolutely loved and found really helpful are the analytics that they provide me with. Things like how many views I've had in a month, where the traffic is being generated from. So these are really great analytics for me because it allows me to decide whether I need to change my strategy, whether I need to change anything on my website. I really recommend, if you have a passion project and you want to get started, check out Squarespace. Go to squarespace.com. You'll get a free trial. You'll see for yourself how easy it is to choose a design and then build your own website. Then if you head to squarespace.com/MelliniAngelica and you do decide to launch your domain or website, you'll get 10% off using my code MelliniAngelica. So is this what we're doing very typical then, like a tapas hopping? Like
Exactly. This is very much like the authentic experience because it's Friday. Lunchtime, it's a beautiful day outside, so I could very well be doing this with a few friends. Cheers! Salud! A popular tapa here would be chicharrones. It's a mix of like different parts of the pig, a little bit of fat, a little bit of meat. Like when I think of chicharrones, I think of like, I don't know, after the beach, before going home for your big almuerzo, you have a little beer and a tapa of chicharrones. It screams summer to me, like a little summer tapa. You like it?
Very salty, I like that.
This is meat from the pig. The name comes from Carrillos, which is this area. This is like fatty, delicious part of the pig, and it's one of the staple tapas here in Seville.
It's absolutely delicious. Love for pig. It's
All
massive.
the parts of the pig are used. I would say pig and tuna are the two sources for our gastronomy in the south of Spain.
And I heard that Seville has like 6,000 tapas bars.
I would believe that. Like for us, tapa, we really take it literally. With the weather again, like the weather really dictates a lot of our lifestyle. It's very common for us to just get out, go to tapas bars, and do this more than once a week, and it's very common. This is papas aliñas with tuna, potato, onions, green pepper,
The boquerones en vinagre.
yeah, this is left in vinegar for a long time.
Like every day, you can go out and you can eat tapas and there'll be something different every day. So you never get bored of it.
It's good to have the options and be able to mix and match as well. It's fun.
Estamos hablando
Nosotros people-
de la cultura,
La
del
cultura
tapa, del
milenaria,
tapear.
cultura milenaria de Sevilla, miles de años. Es very curious.
Tu tapa favorito,
Mi tapa favorita, coméis de todo,
favorita,
carne, pescado.
de todo, de todo.
Os voy a traer una tapa exquisita, es un manjar. No en todos los sitios lo hay.
Hombre, por favor.
Real.
Yo soy nativo de aquí. Somos sevillanos.
Todos, yo también. Es una carne que estos bueyes, nada de granja, se crían libres y se les pone música clásica para que no tengan estrés.
¿En serio? Ok. ¿Qué opinan de la cultura de tapear aquí en Sevilla?
Hombre,
si lo explicas, o sea, ¿cómo lo
es
explicarías?
que nuestra cultura,
Sí.
que esto no se puede vivir sin esto. Nosotros tenemos que vivir lo nuestro es esto. Salimos amigos, amigas, todo eso, el tapeo y toda la historia. Además cogemos sitios estratégicos, sitios fenómenos como este, que tiene 1500 años.
3 palabras que, pues, si te digo
Infinita,
3 palabras para Sevilla,
infinita,
la cultura.
impresionante y cordial.
Alegría y diversión.
Infinita, impresionante y cordial. Se admite todo el mundo. No tiene más nada. Aquí todo el mundo es bienvenido.
A lot of people who've never been to Spain, they have this very romanticized notion that Spain is all about, the tapas, delicious food, flamenco, the passion, the long siestas, like the intense heat. And then I feel like you come to Andalusia and this is literally real life here.
The stereotypical view is very much our reality in many ways. When you get out and you go to a tapas bar, like we're here and you see Flamenco, and like it's very much that. And I love that. I love that about being here. Sevilla is such a special place, for sure.
Flamenco, but improvised flamenco. It's absolutely packed full of Spanish people, but it's amazing. This is literally the life of the locals here, like coming to these bars, singing, dancing, feet stomping. So much passion.
Cada día
puedes explicar un poco del duende? Lo que dicen duende, lo que llaman duende.
El duende.
¿Qué,
Que es un duende.
No me haga desnudarme.
qué es duende?
No me haga desnudarme.
¿No qué?
No le hagas desnudarse.
Emocionalmente.
El duende.
Sábana de seda, ay desnuda yo te soñé. Desnuda yo te soñé. Entre sábanas de seda, desnuda yo te soñé. Desnuda yo te soñé. Y cuando te tuve cerca, de mi sueño desperté. Hoy tengo ganas de ti, pero tú no estás aquí. Dime cuándo volverás, hoy tengo ganas de ti. Ese es el duende.
I've come to Jerez, which is a town around an hour's drive south of Seville. This town is famous for three things in particular. It's sherry production. It makes up part of the Sherry Triangle along with two other nearby towns. It's horses. The horses of Jerez are internationally renowned as pure breed royal horses. And flamenco. A lot of people say this is the birthplace of flamenco. There's also a very fun event going on this week, the Feria de Caballos, or the Horse Fair, which is a real celebration of everything Jerezano, the horses, flamenco, sherry. So I'm really excited to be here. I've come to one of the oldest sherry bodegas in Jerez, Fundador, which has been producing sherry since the 18th century. So we're going to go to the biggest bodega here, Bodega La Mezquita. Wow, so this is the Bodega La Mezquita. Mezquita means mosque. The reason why this architecture is so unique is because they need to be able to keep this very humid. Humidity is one of the most important things for making sherry. So from up here you get a really good idea of how many barrels there are in this bodega. There are around 40,000 wooden barrels. This is where the aging of the sherries happen. So there are two main grapes that are used to produce sherry. The first one is Pedro Jimenez, and that makes a very sweet, creamy sherry. The second one is a Palomino white grape. That makes the very typical dry sherry called fino, which is a very typical thing in Jerez as an aperitivo with fish tapas or jamon. The smell in here is so intense. As soon as you walk in, you get that smell of sweet sherry. This is the first one I'm going to try, which is the fino, which is meant to be very, very dry and crisp. Oh yes, that's bone dry. So this second sherry that I'm about to try is called the Oloroso. So it's a sweeter, more intense, creamier sherry. Oh yeah, I like that. That's actually a lot sweeter, so it's almost a little bit like a dessert wine. I really recommend coming and doing a tour on one of the bodegas in Jerez to really kind of experience the sherry culture here. I've come to El Tabanco. These are the typical places in Jerez to have lunch. And the atmosphere is amazing. It's just full of local people, everyone by the bar. I'm doing as the local Jerezanos do, ordered a fino sherry, eating it with delicious fresh seafood tapas, the best combination. ¿No eres de Andalucía? Sí. ¿Y qué tal la cultura acá?
Esto es paraíso terrenal.
Para ir
gente antes de morirse se quiere venir aquí. Pero no cabemos todos.
¿Qué lo hace un
Por el
paraíso?
clima, por la gente, por la comida, por la alegría y la gana de vivir.
¿Estás aquí para la feria?
Claro.
La feria.
Venga, vamos a brindar por la feria.
The Feria de Caballos in Jerez, or the horse fair, is probably the most famous festival that they have every year. It's a celebration of the Jerez horse, which is a pure breed Spanish horse. They're incredibly beautiful. They're all being paraded now by their owners, and you can just see them. They're very muscular, and they've got these amazing sort of arched necks, which is a very kind of unique attribute for a purebred Spanish horse. Everybody's drinking sherry because, of course, sherry is the drink of Jerez. And the women are dressed in the most incredible flamenco outfits. They call them the traje de flamenco. So it's really a celebration of all of the most amazing things about the culture in Andalusia and Jerez. The horses, the sherry, the flamenco outfits. I've just never been anywhere like it, and it's super colourful and just, it's incredible. So all along the park is lined with casetas, marquees, but they're actually designed in these beautiful film set-like ways. So you've got so many different ones, kind of throwback to the cowboy era, and everybody's just inside. You can go to whichever one you want. Everybody's drinking sherry, eating lunch. Todas se ven tan lindas. ¿Eres de Jerez, sí?
Sí, sí.
¿Qué tal? O sea, ¿me puedes hablar un poco sobre esta feria? ¿De por qué te gusta tanto?
Porque voy borracha y se bebe mucho.
Pues sí, se bebe mucho el sherry, ¿no? Que es muy típico de Jerez. Bueno, gracias. ¿Podrías explicar un poco sobre qué es lo especial de los caballos de Jerez?
Pues lo bonito que son, a la vista están.
Están hermosos.
No, hombre, la vestimenta de aquí es la vaquera, que es lo más de campo. Lleva con su vaquero, con su cabeza de cuero, entresacado, bien tensado, con montura, vaquera. Es lo más típico de aquí, de esta zona de aquí.
Y esta feria es como una celebración.
Y esta feria es una celebración para el caballo,
De
claro.
los caballos.
Porque es la feria del caballo.
Gracias.
Y a disfrutar y a tomar una copita y a hacer día, lo mejor que se pueda. Va a hacer mucho calor. Hace mucho calor, por eso me he parado aquí buscando la sombra.
Hace mucho calor para estar todo.
Hace calor. Y después toda la ropa. Los días están enteros, ¿eh?
This is such an amazing caseta that I found. Everybody here is dancing flamenco, waving around their fans. It's very hot and humid. Amazing.
Yo me detengo. Hola, bye. Hola, flamenco, vengo. Hola, bye. Hola, flamenco, vengo. Hola, bye. Hola, flamenco, vengo. Un aplauso para él, sí, señor. Hacemos una casita.
This is the oldest building in Jerez, and in my opinion, the most beautiful. It's the Alcazar of Jerez, the fortress. It dates back to the 12th century and was built by the Muslim Berber dynasty, the Almohads, and it was a residence of the caliphs of Seville. It's an absolutely stunning building, and there's so much history, centuries of history. Wow, so this would have been the Puerta de la Ciudad, the city gate. This essentially would have divided the interior of the Alcazar to the Medina outside. This is the mezquita, the mosque, and it's absolutely incredible because it's the only preserved mosque in the whole of the city. All these beautiful pointed arches, and right at the end of the mosque you can see the mihrab. So this is where you pray and you kneel towards the direction of Mecca. So these were the hammams, something which is incredibly important in Islamic culture. And you've got these beautiful star-shaped holes in the ceiling of the hammam, so that would have been to let the steam out. But it's just incredibly well preserved. So this was the octagonal tower, and it's the highest point of the Alcazar. It really does feel like being in an Aladdin movie. There's something very exotic about it. It's incredibly historic and primitive, very different to the Alcazar of Seville. So many people have this romantic notion of Spain as a country where you have these long, lazy, midday siestas under the afternoon heat, and you eat delicious tapas all day long, and you dance passionately to flamenco. But actually in Andalusia, it's real life, and it's something that I've lived over the past few days, and I've really enjoyed and felt that intense passion in their culture. For me, this is the true soul of Spain.
Me enamoré de ti, ta-ta-ra-ta-ta. Me enamoré de ti, pa-pa-ra-pa-pa. Me enamoré de ti, pa-pa-ra-pa-pa.
Es primavera. De ti.
Me enamoré de ti, pa-pa-ra-pa-pa. Me enamoré de ti, pa-pa-ra-pa-pa.